Hello lovelies and welcome to today's video. So it is that time again, time for another vlog hop with the Aussie YouTubers. So if you haven't watched any of these videos before, every couple of months, so a few times a year, I team up with a group of other Aussie YouTubers and we do a YouTube hop. So we usually have a theme and we all design something related to that theme. And as you saw, this the theme for this hop is Halloween or spring. And I decided to do something a little different. So I have an awesome Halloween collection. I think I only have one, maybe two. It's because, you know, Halloween's a once a year thing, and so I tend to not use it often, but I've used it for the past few years. I think it's a doodlebug one. It's great. I love it. And for this year, because we haven't had Halloween yet, I haven't got any photos to scrap for Halloween, so I decided to make a tip-in for my journal. So basically, this is an extra page that I can tape into my journal, and it's sort of just like basically I'm putting in my own page. So what I've done is I've started with some black cardstock. Now there is also a sketch for this, which you would have seen at the beginning of the video. So to follow the sketch, I've got some black cardstock. I've cut it down just a little bit smaller than my journal so I can tape it in. And then I'm getting some pattern paper so I can follow the sketch. Now, this collection is called Booville, as you can see there. I'm fairly certain it's a doodlebug collection. And what I love most about the doodlebug collections is their bits and pieces, their chit-chat, or the ephemera that you get with them. And I bought both packets. I bought the chit-chat and the ephemera. And I just love using them. I love these bits and pieces. So to follow the sketch, I'm cutting a piece of pattern paper to go on top of the piece of cardstock that I cut. So the cardstock's basically going to be my page base. And then to follow the sketch, I've cut half of a piece of cardstock and of pattern paper, and I'm going to adhere that down. So I'm just using double-sided tape because I didn't want to use wet glue. So I've got my double-sided tape and I'm just attaching that to my page. Now, obviously this sketch was for a 12 by 12 layout. You can use it in any way. Some people in the hop have used it for cards, others have used it for a journal page. It's just for inspiration. So I'm following the sketch as closely as I can on a small page. Now this page is going in my daily journal, which is the Jane Davenport small journal. So I think it's about an A5 size. Don't have the actual size off the top of my head. But yeah, so as you can see, it's a lot smaller. So as I was going through my collection, so what I do when I have coordinating pieces for a collection is I leave them all in a 12 by 12 Ziploc bag or in the bag with the paper. So all of my Booville is in one place, so I just pull it out and I have all the bits and pieces for it. And as I was going through it all, I found this Happy Halloween that I've cut down into a banner, and now I'm just going through the ephemera pieces looking for something that I can put in the middle of this page. So this is basically going to be like a title page, and then in my journal I can flip it over and put my photos on the back. So therefore I've documented Halloween in my journal, and yeah, I've got to make a cute little tip in for my journal. I'm running out of pages in my journal. I need to get a new one. So putting in a tip in is a really great way to add some more space, and it's really easy to do. Literally, I use washi tape to stick it in, which you will see at the end of the video. So this is my new desk setup. I haven't quite got my tripod in the right spot yet, so I'm still working on remembering to make sure all my stuff is in frame. So I apologize if it's just out of frame just a tad, but I do try hard to move everything up. So I'm going through my stuff. I've pulled out some things that I think I might use, and I'm going to make a little cluster in the middle. So if you remember the sketch from the beginning, it's got that little space where a photo would go. I'm making a little cluster in the middle of my page. Sorry about that. You can hear my boys. They've just finished school, so they're chilling out. And that's what Cooper does when he's on his iPad. He likes to get very noisy. But anyway, back to the video. So I'm adhering all of this down with double-sided tape. I couldn't be bothered using wet glue, and I didn't want to warp the page. So I'm using double-sided tape. I do use some foam to pop up the pumpkins as well, just to give it some dimension so everything's not flat. when I'm doing a cluster, I do like to put some dimension on some of the elements, just so it doesn't look like you've stuck everything down. Does it make sense? Adding dimension really just makes it look a lot better, I find. So I've just added some dimension to the pumpkin, and yeah, it just makes that little cluster, it just gives it some depth. So I better tell you about the rest of the hop. So basically, if you haven't followed the hop before, there will be a link in the description of this video where you can follow on to the next video, and then same thing there in that description. There will also be another link to another video, and then you just hop along through and check out all the videos. Now if you leave us a comment, you go in the running to win a prize, and yeah, it's just always fun. We love hearing from you, so we do love to read your comments. And yeah, you get to check out what everyone else has done with the same theme and sketch. It's always really good to see what a bunch of different artists and creative people do with the same theme. So it's always good to go check everyone else out. So the list will be in the description below, and you can follow along with our lovely hop, which would be great. We would love to hear from you. So I've done my little cluster. I've put my title down, which is my Happy Halloween, and then I'm just going to add a bit more here and there. So I found these really cool stars in the ephemera pack. I love the colours. As you can see, I've gone very Halloween colours with the black and the purple, and now I'm bringing in some orange with these stars. So I'm just going to add a cluster up the top and the bottom, and yeah, I just love the way that looks. I just love the way it brings it all together and just adds a little something. So like I said, this is going to be a tip-in in my journal. So basically this will be the front, and then when I flip it over, my photos for Halloween will be on the back. So I thought it was a really cool way to document Halloween in my journal for this year. So I've added my stars, and now I'm going to add some black splatters with my Black Marble Dilutions ink. This is where I mess up a little bit, but you know, doesn't bother me. It's just going in my journal. I'm going to go with it. I get splatters on my pumpkin because I forgot to cover it up, and then for some weird reason I wasn't thinking, and I wipe it off, which of course leaves a mark. So yeah, it's a bit of a whoops moment, but it doesn't ruin it and it doesn't bother me. It's going in my journal. It's just for me to see, so it's not really a big deal. So yeah, note to self, wait for it to dry. We know I'm impatient. I hate waiting for things to dry. But yeah, I don't know what I was thinking wiping it off the pumpkin. I really don't know what I was thinking there. So now I'm just going to add some bling. Here I am drying it to remember, you know, to dry it before I touch it. And then I'm going to add some doodles onto the stars. So I grabbed my black Sharpie pen, which is one of my favorites, and I'm just going to scribble some lines around these stars. Mostly I just wanted to keep playing, and I thought, you know, I might just add a bit of a nice little bit of detail on these stars. So now you're going to watch me put it in my journal. Now I apologize because the first half you don't see very well, because as you can see I've forgotten that my camera frame is up a little higher. But literally all I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a fairly decent length of washi tape, so a little bit longer than the length of the page, and then I'm going to line it up in my book and just press the washi tape in. That is as simple as it gets. That's how I do it, and it works fine for me. So I'll flip it over, and then I'll tape the other side as well. And I've done this a fair few times in my journal, and they've never come out, so it works really well. As long as you tape both sides and make sure both sides of the tape are touching the page, it'll stay in quite well. So literally that's all I do. I just use some washi tape and tape it in, and it's done. So therefore I have a new page in my journal, a lovely little tip in. The best part is you can make these any size. I've put photos in, I've put project life cards in. Obviously for this one, I wanted to make it a bit bigger so I could add in some photos on the back. So that's it from me. I hope you have enjoyed my video. Don't forget to hop along to the next one in the hop, and I'll catch you real soon with a new video. Bye for now.